Welcome to the Lions Den on the Tower at Lindenwood Student Radio. I'm Emily G.
And I'm James Z.
And today we're joined by Lindenwood women's soccer coach Dave Musso and junior midfielder Rachel Jackson.
So we're really excited to have you guys on the show. We appreciate you guys giving us your evening. And thank you to Lindenwood Athletics for allowing this show to take place. This is the loudest environment in student radio, but hey, we're happy we got a spot. We have this opportunity every week. This is our 4th show. And before we get anywhere into the show, Dave, can you start off with introducing yourself to our listeners at home?
Yeah, first, thanks for having us. We're excited. It's the beginning of the fall year. We're in the middle of our season, but the campus is rocking. So we really appreciate being on your show. Evans is hopping. I've never been here for dinner, so that's great. But, again, I'm Dave Musso. This is my 7th year here. I'm actually a Lindenwood graduate. I got my master's here. I was here in 04 and 05 as a graduate assistant when we were NAIA. Then I went away for 12 years at Quincy University, and then this job opened up, and I couldn't pass it. It's a great place, great university, big things happening, a growing university, and I'm excited to be here. And especially this year, we're rolling.
Mm-hmm. And Rachel, could you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Like you said, I'm a junior midfielder. I'm number 10. I'm from O'Fallon, so just like 15 minutes away from here. I'm an accounting major, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't do anything else, so.
Accounting. So you into numbers?
Yeah.
Like pretty big into that? So we are mass comm students.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about how your program was. I had to take one math class.
Yes.
My freshman year. I took basic stats. Done with math forever. I
Yeah.
am so happy to be done with it.
I think I only had to take 2.
Yeah.
So.
I think
Hey,
Rachel
there
was
we
the
go.
opposite. She was taking other classes and then
Yeah.
found accounting
Yeah.
and really loved it, so it was good.
But you've been able to manage the workload with athletics pretty well.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good to
been
hear.
pretty nice.
So, Coach, like you said, you're in your 7th year here at Lindenwood. Rachel, you're in your 3rd. What have been your guys' favorite moment so far as being a Lindenwood Lion?
Yeah, well, I think starting with this year, I think this year has been fantastic. This is year 3 of the reclassification, so it takes time to build something, especially when you're going from Division 2 to Division 3, or Division 1. So
We're going down.
we're not going down. We keep going up. We're building university, but it takes time, and we're finally out of the storm, and we see the light, and we have some really good players here. We're performing very well. And we have big, high expectations for our group, and I think that's been the highlight so far. If I had to pick a game, it was probably 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago when we played Austin P. We were down a player because we got a red card, and we were down 2-0, probably with 25 minutes to go in the game, and clawed our way back to tie it up and then won the game in the last minute. So we came down 2-0 to win the game, which is something I've never
That's awesome.
heard of or seen before, especially down a player. It's pretty remarkable and says a lot about our team. We have a team of 25 players, and 19 of them are freshmen and sophomores. So we have 6 upperclassmen. So we're a very young team, growing every single day. And the biggest reward for me is to see them grasping everything and getting better every day. And that's our goal, to peak at the end of the year. So that's my biggest moment so far.
And Rachel, for you, what's been your favorite moment here at Lindenwood?
Mine was this past spring. I think we only had like 14 people on the team, and we just renovated our culture completely. Like, we basically dug everything up, started from the bottom, and just kept building and building. And then in the beginning of this fall, we just brought in the freshmen, the newcomers, and we just kept going and going. And obviously now it's starting to pay off, and this season has been so fun to play. And it's just been super rewarding seeing everything that we've done build back to, like he said, that game was just unbelievable. You don't ever see that. So the talent and the drive that we have on this team is insane.
Yeah, and I'm going to piggyback off our spring. It was a really important phase for our program. January 1st on was the officially the first time that we had all Division I players on our roster, and we added 10 freshmen as well. So we called it culture renovation because the culture was good, but would need to be renovated. Division I level, higher expectations on the field, off the field. our performance culture had to get better, and we took a lot of steps in the right direction, and it all started with our leaders, and Rachel's one of them, taking this team over and building the core in the off season, and then being very intentional about everything we do, and just really focusing on gelling these 10 freshmen. We knew they'd be talented, but the culture part is what we needed. We needed everybody to come together like a magnet and just become one team. So that was very important.
Mm-hmm. And Dave, like you said, you got your coaching start here at Lindenwood back in 2004. Had a lot of success. What was it like, and what led you back to coaching back at Quincy and then coming back here?
Yeah, so when I was in grad school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do in life. I was going to be a teacher maybe. I went to go back to Lindenwood for my master's in teaching. But then I got into college soccer in '04. I was with Coach Carl Hutter, and it was my first season. I was 22 at the time, and we ended up winning the NAIA National Championship, which was remarkable. These men,
Got there at the
they
right
were
time.
men. They were men. I was probably younger than half the team, and it was really cool to experience. And then I got moved over to the women's side in '05, and I helped that program go from 500, and we won 17 games that year. And then I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. I like this, but still wanted to be a teacher. But then the head coaching job at Quincy University opened up, and that's where I went to school. I got that job when I was 23, 24 when I stepped on campus, and I was there 12 years. But the last 5 years I was at Quincy, I had my eye on Lindenwood University because every time I came back to campus, new buildings were going up. New facilities, new resources. It was a growing institution, especially, in these days. There's a lot of tight times with budgets and cuts and everything, and this place is thriving. And not only when I got here in 2018, but I feel like every single year it's growing. And, going Division I 3 years ago was a big step for us. And even with that, it's a process, and I feel like every single year we're getting more resources to put our program in a position to go win and be successful, especially in the OVC. We have the best resources in the conference, not only the facilities, but our staffing. It's fantastic, the support staff we have, and it's a growing, thriving university, and I knew this is my home. Plus, I am from St. Louis area, so
Right.
I got to coach in my hometown, so it's huge being close to family and getting a little closer to St. Louis Blues games.
Hey.
It's always a
Yeah.
big plus. So
Sounds like the
Sure.
perfect fit.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you were coaching your first year, being that young, and had people on the team that were older than you.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered, like, I'm a Cardinals fan, Oliver Marmol, and having people older than him that he is managing. What was that like, or what is that dynamic like?
well, it's interesting. I think you really have to connect with the players and show them how much you care, and then they'll respect you. A good example of that was when I was at Quincy too, and I literally was coaching some players that were at Quincy when I went to school there. So showing them respect and a plan and a vision, so they could then buy into everything we're doing. But if you show players you care and you give the effort, then they will buy in and really respect you and what you're trying to do, which is ultimately trying to help them be better players, better people, and be successful.
And you also mentioned earlier all the shifts you've had to go through. You've coached at the NAIA level, Division II, Division I. What is the biggest difference coaching at each of those levels?
Yeah, well, they're all very good levels, and I think when you're in that level, you're trying to get the best players for that level, and then when you're playing and you're shaping those teams, you're trying to win championships too. But the biggest difference, I think, especially Division I compared to the others, is the on and off the field type stuff. On the field, the type of athlete you're recruiting, not only the athlete, bigger, faster, stronger, all that, but understands the game a little more. But then also it's more of the off the field stuff, the performance culture, the maybe a little more sacrifices off the field, business-like mentality. where if you're at a lower level, sometimes you can have more time to do other things, and that's fine. But Division One is tough. You have to be bought in 7 days a week. I know you get an off day every week, but you have to be bought in, or else the next person will pass you up. And it's very competitive. And also a huge difference. If we have 25 people on our roster, 25 of them are good. And when we're recruiting, we try to find people that are better than our current roster. It's just competitive. It's tough. It's I would say compete level. So you have very good players that might not be in big roles that they've been in their whole life, in high school and club. So they have to get used to that, and they're fighting to play and be in big roles. So, but the on-the-field stuff is a bigger, faster game. Time and space is limited, but I think more of it is just the off-the-field commitment.
All right.
Yeah. And Rachel, what has been your biggest adjustment coming from high school into that Division One?
Yeah, like he said, it's a way bigger commitment in high school. You could get away with not practicing 5 days a week and only practicing 3, and but here you have to practice every single day. If you don't get those touches on the ball, then you lose like a day of like work. So you can't, like, the highest that you can go is not going to be the highest of the person next to you, because if they go and work out, and also just like on the field, it's just way faster. Like, you're going to get bodied off the ball's going to move a lot quicker. It's just a complete step up from high school. Like, you just have to think way faster. You have to be in it for like the whole 90 minutes. You can't take a second off. So.
One of our campers at our camp asked our current players, what's the biggest difference between high school and club and college? And some of these clubs are the best teams in the country. And one of our freshmen last year, Maddie Olson, was a starter as a freshman. She said it great. She said, the biggest difference is this. When I started a game, I knew if I was going up against a freshman or somebody who had been here a year. Because if they were an upperclassman, they're bigger than me, they're stronger, they're more physical. And that's so true. And I think that was another part of our cultural renovation part, was the on-the-field type training with our strength coach too, like getting stronger and tougher. And it's a physical game out there.
All right. And you've been talking about this year, talking about the workload, how much you guys have to do to prepare to play at this level. And you guys have found a lot of success so far this year. And at this point in the season, I'll ask you guys both, what goals do you individually and for the team do you guys have for this season and the rest of it?
Individually, I just want to keep connecting with my team. I feel like I want to be best friends with every single person on the team. I want to get to know them on a personal level. And as a team, I want to go win the championship. I want to go win it all. I'm tired of losing. I don't like to lose. I'm not a very good loser, so I would just like to go out there and win every single game and just give it every little ounce of me I have.
That's the best mindset you can possibly have. I love that.
Very true. And with our group, I think for me, it's to keep getting better. This group's so young, I know that there's going to be some growing pains, but I know we have the talent. So it's about gaining the experience, and winning while we gain that experience is going to be important. But the end goal for all these players is to get a ring, and that is to win an OVC championship. And it's out there. We finished our regular season out of conference, 4-4. We had the highest RPI in the conference, which is a combination basically of your win-loss and your strength of schedule.
Okay.
And then also in the standings, we're at the top of the table of the conference. So it's going to be long and tough and hard. We're going to have obstacles. We're going to have good games. We're going to have times where we're going to learn some lessons. But our ultimate goal is to be playing really well towards the end, making postseason, and then making a run at this championship and hopefully getting a ring.
Yeah, and on Sunday, the Lindenwood Lions women's soccer team hosted the Western Illinois Leathernecks here at Hunter Stadium to open up their conference play. The Lions would dominate offensively, outshooting the Leathernecks 31-1, but were able to score one goal, which was enough. Coach, how pleased were you with that team's performance on Sunday in opening conference play in that way?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're just trying to win games and get 3 points, because if you get a win, you get 3 points. If you tie, you get 1. So whatever the score is, obviously you want to make it a little easier in those type of games and score earlier and often, and then you can take a deep breath. But at the end of the day, we got 3 points. But as far as on the field, we did everything we asked them. We had a whole week of training, and it was really cool to see them execute everything and get better. I mean, we saw it, and we did everything except for get that ball past the goalie.
Yeah.
And finally, Sophia Miller came in and just smashed a goal with her left foot, and we were able to win. But I was really happy. I think 31 shots might be the highest we've had in the D1 area. It definitely is in the D1 era, and then also one shot again says a lot too. Not only on the ball, but our defending was very good as well.
Goaltender could have taken a nap back there.
Yeah, they did have one shot though.
They did have one. So what's it like playing in those games where you're dominating offensively, you're doing everything right, but you guys just cannot put the ball in the net?
Yeah, it gets a little frustrating, but like our coaches say, don't get frustrated. Obviously, when you get frustrated, that's when you let up. So we just have to keep reminding each other just to keep locked in, stay focused, and keep doing what we're doing. Like he said, we were executing things that we've been working on for the past 10 days. We had 10 days rest, so yeah, we just knew that we were going to go out there, and we knew that we were going to have a lot of the ball, which is nice, but we just needed to put the ball in the back of the net, and yeah, Sophia did. It was nice.
And last year, you guys had a difficult time with conference play. I know, still trying to phase into the D1 level and trying to compete at this level. But how are you guys feeling this year? You know, you've had success early on, and looking at the rest of the year, what do you feel about this team and how they can compete in this conference?
Yeah, we feel confident. As long as we can stay healthy and continue to make the right decisions on and off the field, we're very confident. Every single game we feel like we can prepare, and if we execute, we'll give ourselves a chance to win. Now, it's going to be hard to win every game, but we're very confident every game, and I couldn't say that last year. And that's fine. It's just part of the reclassification. But we have the pieces this year, and we have the experience of going through a couple of years that were difficult, especially with our upperclassmen. We're a little more hungry. And these freshmen here, and then also the sophomores who were freshmen last year have joined us, and they came to Lindenwood when we're Division I, and they want to win. And this is nothing. They want to win championships,
right.
And this is the expectations they have and we have. So this is not anything new to them right now.
And going into this game, was there anything in particular that you wanted to see out of your team, like changes, anything like that?
Goals. No, I'm kidding. No, we just want to get on the ball, do good things, and the way we were playing, we probably should have had more goals. I mean, between 4 to 8, who knows? But it didn't happen. I've been part of these games in the past where you're up, you're dominating a game, and then you get frustrated, and you end up losing those games on a quick counterattack. So it didn't happen. So I was very proud of our group. Again, you're playing opponents now that respect you. You're not going to sneak up on anybody anymore. So that's really hard to do. That's the next challenge is you're going to get everybody's best game now.
And in the post game, you said that the team really stuck to the script of the game. And you kind of already talked about that, being on the ball and being aggressive.
Yep.
But could you give us, is there anything else to that script that you had going into the game that you wanted to see?
Well, to be honest, that's what it was. It was to dominate the ball and be very aggressive in the attacking third. And I think we had, obviously, 31 shots, but we got in the box 41 times. And for us, that's like triple the normal. So that was one of our goals as well. So we were doing all the little things. So we had to just stick with it. A goal will come if you keep doing those right things. So sticking to the script also means stay positive. And also we had officials I mean, Western Illinois was very physical, so they could have gotten us off our game. So we stuck to the script. We stayed positive. We didn't let that noise affect us, and find a way to win.
And I have one more question before we move into looking ahead. So playing in those physical games, what is it like as a player knowing that like the refs are going to let you guys play, you can bump and grind and push each other around a little bit?
Well, I would consider myself a very physical player. Not always on the best side, but it does get frustrating. It does get frustrating because other teams will see that and try to grind your gears a little bit harder and get under your skin a little bit more. But I kind of like it. I like the physical play. I'd rather just keep going than a soft call. But yeah,
Rachel is very competitive. There's an edge. She plays on the edge, and she toes the line, which is what you want. You never want them to cross the line, so she toes that line, and she does a really good job of staying on the
tough line to walk.
Yeah.
And she has grown in that area too.
My sister and
great.
we
So what
both,
makes her great.
we both grew up playing YMCA soccer. We
Yeah.
never moved past that level,
Yeah.
but the refs and I, we never really got along on
Yeah.
either side. We were those players that would bump people out of the way, and
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's
those
funny.
games were fun. Those
Like-
games were fun.
Yeah. I mean, they are where they are, but they're going to be good or bad for both teams. He just is part of the game. So
And on this Thursday, you guys are headed to Charleston, Illinois to take on the Eastern Illinois Panthers. How has the team been preparing for this game, and is there anything you would take away from that?
yeah. So part of this process is we had an off day Monday, and then Tuesday. So these last 2 days, you're also trying to recover from the weekend. So you're really focused on yourself, trying to get your legs back, make sure everybody's healthy, and see where you're at. Tomorrow we'll do a lot of Eastern Illinois prep on the field, but we have an amazing group of coaches. Ewan Morton does our scouting reports. He's been breaking them down, so he knows all about them, and he's going to introduce the scouting report tomorrow to them. But it's really about ourselves, and we'll take some of their strengths, what they do, and be aware of those, but try to stick to our game. But on the road, too, for us, it's going to be a day trip. It's going to be on the grass, so that'll be challenging. They're a big physical team. So everybody's good right now. They're coming off a loss, so we know that we're going to get their best because they need to rebound. So they're going to want to bring it.
Yeah. And they're on, like, the struggle bus right now so far. And Lindenwood has personally never defeated them before. Is there anything about the way that they play that has made it difficult for us in the past?
Yeah, well, the past is a different team, so we just know that they're going to be physical. I think 2 years ago we tied them, and then last year we lost 2-0. But they're physical, they're good, they're good on the ball, they're good in possession, just like everybody is. I know you mentioned they're struggling, but you know they can get right back on that track. So. But the good thing for us, if we can get to them and maybe score first, I think that'll be really important for us.
Well, I just hope this week that we can sweep them in soccer and in
football.
football.
Yeah.
Take care of business,
Yeah.
take them down. And now we have our brand new segment, Lindenwood Trivia. Emily, would you like to start us off here?
Yes. So this is a fun section of
All
our
right,
show.
let's do it.
We're going to do some trivia. Like James said, you're going to, circle your answer, and at the end, we'll let you know.
okay.
Yeah.
No cheating, Dave.
And make sure to hide your sheet, Emily, so they can't see it.
You know
yeah,
the first
I did
one.
put the answers on here.
All right.
So our first question is, when was Lindenwood founded?
All right. Let me pull out my sheet. I forgot to pull that out. So our first answer is A, 1827, B, 1832,
Awesome.
Oh, I was like,
C, 1907, and D, 1922. So if you're at home, you can try to answer it yourself. We're going to go through all the answers at the end of this. And both of you guys recorded your answer?
Yep.
All right. So second one's going to be a little bit harder. I think both of you guys got that one on lock. But this question is, how many of our NCAA teams are in the OVC? So A, 10, B, 5, C, 13, and D, 15.
Not
And
going to lie to you, I was going through our website earlier today and I was like, what fun facts can I find? I went through and I sat there and I counted each team.
And the easiest way to answer this
I
one,
don't know
I've
this.
tried to go
I
through
don't
this
know
one.
this.
You guys start thinking of start thinking of the teams that we do have on campus.
Yes.
And
Which
some of them
ones-
you definitely will forget
And
about.
some of them's just transition to, and you'll forget about them because I know I did when I looked at it. I was like, oh, wow, cool.
All right, well, let us know when both you guys have your answers recorded for that one.
Done.
I'm good,
Yep.
yeah.
All
We're
right.
good. We're quick.
Since 2017, how many NCAA sports have captured national championships?
Since when?
2017.
How many NCAA?
NCAA sports have captured national championships?
That's not fair. He was here longer.
A is 2, B 5, C 17, and D 9.
NCAA national championships?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'll tell you this, it's more than you think.
Well, I thought it was just one. It's not on there.
All right, let us know when both you guys have recorded your
Yep,
answers.
we're good.
All right,
All right.
we're going to keep chugging along here. 4th question. This one you guys should both have on lock here. This is an open one. What season did Lindenwood go D1? I'm hoping both of you guys got that
yeah.
one. We've all been here for the transition.
Yes.
All right. Gave
All
you guys
right.
your free space.
I know the date,
Yeah.
too. It's my wife's birthday.
Ooh, easy to
Ooh.
remember.
Yep, February
Yeah.
23rd.
You better never
That's
forget.
Go.
That's not the question, though.
Bonus.
Yep,
No.
give them extra points
No,
There
no,
you
no, no.
in case of a tie.
All right, now this one. How many athletic programs does Lindenwood have in both NCAA and SLS?
All right. And A is 22, B 27, C 33, and D 39. Might just have to take a shot in the
Lock
dark.
it.
Yeah.
We're done.
We can't forget about those SLS sports,
Nah.
though.
No, I know.
Shout out to all my bowling guys out there, bowling
Shout
guys
out to
and
dance.
gals.
She might beat me. Okay, we're good.
We're going to go through and review. So our first question was, what year was Lindenwood founded? Dave, what'd you have?
1832.
All right, you also have 1832.
There you go.
All right,
That
both
is the
one
correct answer.
apiece.
You know that just got fixed like a few years
Yeah.
ago. They had it wrong.
Yes. they
That's
did.
a fun fact. Down on the radio station, there's a
Yeah.
few passcodes on different things that were based off of years, and they had to go through and change a bunch of them.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
different rooms are now different years. It's all a mess down there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, Caleb, I got you. So we got our guy back in the studio. He said no one's supposed to know about that.
Gotcha.
It's okay.
It's all right. So second question was, how many of our NCAA teams are in the OVC? Dave, what'd you have
I
as your
put
answer?
15. I'm probably wrong.
I put
Rachel?
13.
The correct answer was
15.
15.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's just a shot in the dark. These are
Yes.
just big
Yes.
numbers on a piece of paper that you guys circle.
Yep.
You guys didn't study for this, though. That is
No.
on you
No.
guys.
No.
Yeah.
You guys study for class. Since 2017, how many NCAA sports have captured national championships? Dave, what'd you
I
have?
put 2.
2?
I put 5.
Yeah, it's a big number. It's 17.
17
NCAA
natties.
now.
Yeah.
Who?
I'm not sure. The website just said 17.
17. I think women's lacrosse did. I don't know anybody else.
Yes.
Okay.
I know for sure them and some other teams.
It's
Okay.
a lot of sports that you wouldn't, like, whenever we're
Yeah.
talking about how many teams are in the OVC,
Yep.
there's so many
Gotcha.
teams that you
Yeah.
don't realize are NCAA on this campus or don't get a lot of appreciation. And hopefully we get a lot of those coaches on the show as we go throughout the
Perfect.
weeks.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because we love bringing light to different sports.
I need to research some more of that. 17? That's crazy.
All right, so we're coming into the last. Well, I think we both have this next one. What year did Lindenwood go D1?
2022.
Yeah,
we've all
there you
got that
go.
one.
February
That's the free
23rd.
space. And our final question was, how many athletic programs does Lindenwood have in NCAA and SLS? And Rachel, if you get this one right, he gets it wrong, you guys come away with a tie.
I put 33.
39.
Correct answer
Correct.
was
39.
39.
I do
So,
work here. So
If you're listening at home
should
and
know some of this.
if you're listening at home and you're on the fence about Lindenwood, 39 different sports you can compete in. So if you
Yeah.
compete in one, come here, try out, see if you can get a scholarship. But we appreciate both of you guys coming on the
Yes.
show today. It's been a blast.
Thank you so much.
Love
Yeah.
hearing about women's soccer. And once again at home, guys, you guys show up to the games.
Yes.
I love seeing crowds at these games.
Especially our next home game is Sunday, okay, at 1 o'clock against SIUE. It's Military Appreciation Day. So 1 o'clock, SIUE, our biggest rival, our biggest competitive opponent that we play. We need you there.
Yeah.
Well, fun fact before I end the show, I am from Edwardsville.
Oh, all right.
But I am a Lindenwood fan. I have
Good stuff.
transitioned. I'm a trader
Good
to everybody
stuff.
back at
It's
home.
all right.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming on the show. Really appreciate your guys' time. And make sure to tune in next week. We'll be back on the air at 7. We're not exactly sure which coach we're going to have yet, but it's between men's soccer and cross country. So if you're interested
Cool.
in either one of those, be sure to tune
Tune
in.
in.
And thank you guys so much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you.